Hey everyone, and welcome to the NintendoFuse Podcast. This is episode 303, recorded on Tuesday, November 19th, 2024. And we're here to talk about a lot. There's a lot of news that we are covering, lots of headlines. We're also going to get into the recent Game Awards nominees and some other nominees for some indie games that'll be coming up in December, as well as our holiday picks and letting you guys know about what's going to be going on around the holiday season, get some deals on video games. My name is Steve, and I'm also joined by Barry. Barry, how's it going?
Hey, it's going. I'll say that it's busy but going.
It has, yeah. We don't have an election to compete with tonight, though. So,
No, but the follow up, the end of last week, I talked a little bit about the gummy candies. Now they pulled out
oh
my tooth, so
yeah, yeah,
so now I've got a tooth missing and I've got stitches in my mouth, and that's
mm,
always fun. And
yeah, yeah. I went through that earlier this year. Not with
oh,
the gummies, but yeah, I
you're
have
getting an implant?
eventually, yeah. But yeah,
Yeah,
I found out I had like a degenerative gum disease, and I was like, oh, well, that's fun because he was just gonna fix a cavity, and all of a sudden I find
it needs
out
a
that
tooth.
it needs to remove altogether. I'm like,
Did you do a bone graft while they removed
yeah,
it? Because they usually, yeah, it
yeah,
makes sense. Do it while they have it open.
yeah,
But then you know how it is with the stitches there for 2 weeks. It's how
yeah,
annoying it is.
yeah. It's a pain. Yeah, yeah. At least you were somewhat expecting it. I went in for the filling
Yeah.
and came out with
Well, I went in
one
for a
less tooth.
cleaning, and then they found the crack while I was just going in for a routine cleaning.
Hmm.
So I didn't expect. I knew I took off
Yeah.
the cap. I didn't know I broke the tooth underneath it.
Right. Hmm.
So
Yeah.
surprise.
Yep. Yep. I'd say that some of it is getting old, but some of it just
Yeah.
broken bodies. Uh, here we are. Uh,
Here we
some
are in
of
our
you,
40s.
yeah, yay. Some of you are probably wondering where's Greg. We don't know. No, I'm just kidding. We do know. He's at his daughter's uh, play. Is that right? It's not a
Yeah,
concert. It's a play, I think. So
play.
he's,
Yep.
priorities. And but we're here to talk video games, and so grateful for all of you guys that are joining us in the live chat right now. If you're there, be sure to say hi, and also let us know what games you've been playing, all your different thoughts about all the news stories that we're going to cover tonight. And as I alluded to earlier, we have a lot to talk about. So before we get into any of that, just want to remind you, if you're new and joining us, thank you. But also be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast app or right here on YouTube. We're streaming live on YouTube and on Twitch every other Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time and 5 p.m. Pacific Time. We'd love to have you join us live if you've never done that before. And also be sure to share this with other Nintendo gamers out there. Programming note is that we're going to be wrapping up for this calendar year really soon. Our next episode is going to be our Game of the Year episode. So we'll talk to you a little more about those details as we get closer to that section. But yeah, we're going to be talking Game of the Year. It's almost that time already, Barry.
Oh, my favorite
It's
episode of the year. Oh, I love it.
wow.
We might have a bonus episode after that.
That's true.
But
That's true.
but
We may.
yeah,
Yeah.
that to me, I think the game of the year for why it's my favorite is it's just a culmination. And my favorite years that we've done that are the years where we all pick different things. What years where we all pick the same thing, I think are boring. All right, three people, let's all talk about the same game. All right, next game. Oh, we all the same, second place. Yeah, yeah. I love it when we do a category and we do 9 different games. To me, that is fascinating, and it's a great way for people to discover their next favorite game too.
Yep. And that might very well happen this year.
Might. It might. It's been an interesting year, I'll say
Has
that.
been. Yep. We'll get into a little bit of that a little later, but let's jump into our what we've been playing as always. And just another reminder: if you're joining us live, be sure to let us know what you've been playing in the chat. But also, if you are tuning in after the fact, if you're on the video version, drop that in the comments. We'd love to see that as well. So, Barry, what have you been playing?
Yeah, so not as much this week or these past 2 weeks, besides real life stuff taken away. But for the Switch, still playing Pokemon Unite. I'm playing Star Wars Hunters, but a little less Hunters because I've already finished the newest season 3. So I'm waiting for season 4, and Hunters unfortunately doesn't give you incentives to keep playing after you've maxed out. You could still get points for the season pass, but it doesn't mean anything. You can't trade them in for anything. So I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna wait for the next season. Uh, Playing Dungeons 4 for Nintendo Switch, which is a game we'll be doing a game chat on in a bit, so won't talk much about that. Playing some more Vampire Survivors, the Ode to Castlevania DLC specifically. We'll be talking more about that in a game chat, and but I am having fun with it. And then I play a game called Rogue Flight, which was a game sent to me for review. So Rogue Flight, I'm not doing a full game chat, but I'm going to give a little mini review here. It was an unsolicited code they just sent me. It's from Perp Games, and this is like a Star Fox style game. It's a shmup. It's behind the ship, and really graphical, like intensive for the Switch. Like it handled very well. I was very surprised. In fact, it almost handled too well because it started making me get nauseous because it was very fluent. And just if you enjoy Star Fox style games, I think this is one that I think you should probably check out. I know it's also on PS5, but it ran surprisingly well on Switch. It did have some longer load times, but I did have a lot of fun. So definitely check that one out. But the big game I've been playing on the Switch was Mario and Luigi Brothership. That came out, and I finished it, and I enjoyed it. I will say I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun, but it had a slower start, which I know some people didn't like. It is story heavy, which I did enjoy as an RPG fan, but it almost overstays its welcome, and it just goes on. And I feel like some things were padded. Like there's one thing in particular that was just really bizarre. So on the different islands you can go to are these grandpa turnips you can find. And they give you little advice. It's fun little things. And there's a turnip on your ship that says, "Oh, you found 4 of me. If you find 5, I'll give a or 4 of the turnips. If you get find 5, I'll give you a prize." And then it'll tell you so far on the islands that you've gotten to, you you've got them all or you're missing one. Okay, that's cool. And he's like, "Oh, there's 18 of us." Great. So I'm at the end of the game and I only have 9. And it was like, "Oh yeah, well where the heck are the other 9? How am I missing it?" And it was like, "Oh, you've got all the ones that you can get." I'm like, "Oh, there's going to be some bonus islands or something going to come up here." And they even have a NPC say islands are mysteriously popping up, and 3 mysteriously did, but they were no turnips. Turns out the other 9 are all in the final dungeon, 8 of which are in a hidden room. And I'm like, that is so whack. Like that's padding for the sake of 18. We can tout there's 18 turnips to find. You throw 8 of them in a hidden room in the final dungeon, and the ninth one's also in the final dungeon. And it's like, really, you couldn't space them out. Not every island had one. You could have done better, I think. But yeah, so that was. Otherwise, I very much enjoyed it. So then on the PS5 side, I'm playing some Dragon Quest III HD 2D remake. Almost done with it. I just got the Everbird for those that know. I'm having fun. I decided to do PS5 instead of Switch just because I play docked, and I figure it's less load time. It also, for those that have played it before or just want an easier experience, the easiest difficulty mode, you can't die. So if you could switch at any time, so if a boss is giving you trouble, you can turn that on and the boss can't kill you. You could just,
Nice.
you'll never get stuck. And I appreciate that, having a kid and having a lot of games to play. But I am having fun. The game looks beautiful. Definitely recommend it. It is a gorgeous game. Speaking of RPGs on the PC, I'm playing Final Fantasy 14 still, of course. They just dropped last week 7.1, which had the 24-man raid, Echoes of Vana'diel, which is all based on Final Fantasy 11. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. As a 42-year-old man, I cried and teared up with my wife as we played through that because the music, the memories, that what a fantastic raid that was. Just so many callbacks done by 11 players. And the funniest thing was doing it with people who knew 11 and they enjoyed it, and people who had never played 11 and were like, "I don't get this.
Hmm.
Why is this like this?" And it was a lot of fun. Mobile side, still doing Mario Kart Tour. New York Times games, and Pokemon TCG Pocket has been a lot of fun. Been enjoying it. Been doing my packs. I don't know if you've gotten into it yet, Steve, but
Mm-mm.
man, is it the perfect pick up and play game because you can just open a pack and put it back in your phone for a while and pull it up later to open another pack whenever
Hmm.
you want.
That's cool. Yeah, I haven't downloaded it yet, and I think the idea behind it is more my thing because I never got into the actual trading card game because like I have to do math and I don't want to do that for fun. Um,
This does it all for
but
you
it does
though,
it all
and
for you. Yeah.
there's even an auto. You can actually turn on auto and let the computer play for you.
Hmm.
So the matches are quick, like 3 to 5 minute matches tops.
Okay.
Y-
Hmm.
And there's an auto that will help you for a bit, and you never have to battle. You could just collect the cards and just
Yeah,
have fun. It's free, so you might as well.
that's cool. Is it like one of those games? Is it like gotcha stuff and where like you have to
Whoa,
pay to like basically play it like at all?
no,
Okay.
no, there's zero penalties. You don't have to pay anything. You get 2 packs a day for free. There's a bunch of missions that give you hourglasses. You can use those hourglasses to speed up the pack reset time because every 12 hours you get a pack.
Hmm.
And you could use those to get more packs. And then even like events, there was a Lapras event where you could play and get free cards, promo cards. They do promo cards like a Lapras EX, and you use a special type of like stamina to battle the computer to win those cards. If you lose, you don't lose that stamina. It's 100% forgiving. Like you could just keep trying until you win.
Hmm.
Awesome. Otherwise, there's no stamina to battle the CPU or to battle anyone else. So
Okay.
there's zero. The only gotcha is the pull. Like I want to open more packs, and naturally,
Sure.
opening a pack of cards is gotcha in its infancy, really.
Sure. Yeah.
But they tell you
That's
the
cool.
odds of everything too.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, I'll have to. I haven't even downloaded it yet, so might have to. Looking at the chat, looks like Monos says been playing the Atomic Owl demo and it's really fun, and can't wait for the full release. And then also played Blade Assault for Xbox as
Oh,
well.
nice. It's PM Studios.
So I have been playing very little. um, Life has been crazy. I've been traveling. I've been here, there, and everywhere. Over in Atlanta and back to California, and then back to Colorado, and all over the place. And the one game that I have been playing as I'm traveling is The Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. And I it's been a while since I played it because I got the new DLC and I was like, I want to play that. And I realized as I booted up that you have to like get to a certain point in the game before you can get that activate that DLC or something like that. And so I was like, okay, cool. And I think I'm like almost there, but I am stuck in this game. I can't remember where I'm supposed to go, how I'm supposed to.
Wow.
I know where I know, like it gives you a hint of like what the next objective is, but I cannot figure out how to get there. So I need to look at some sort of guide online. But I was playing while I was in the airplane, and so I wasn't able to actually look up any guides or whatever. But I went everywhere that I've already been, and I'm having fun with the game. But I just I'm at a point where I'm kind of stuck, and I need to figure out where to go, how
And
to
did
get
you
there.
get code for this, or did you finally just say screw it and bought it?
They did send me one. Yeah.
Oh, only
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, bummer. I asked for multiple and they could only spare one. So I was excited to play it and because I thought I could already do it. I should have given it to you since you probably already at that point where you can get it.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
beat the game.
realize that I had to be at a certain point in the game to be able to access it. So I think I'm almost
Explain
at
that.
that
Send them
point.
an email. Explain that. Say I'm still not there, but if I can get
Yeah.
another one, the other reviewer is there.
It's true. Yeah. So that's pretty much all I've been playing on Switch. Uh, Again, playing Rocket League, Clash Royale, Pokemon Go. As normally happens, I play a lot more on my phone when I'm traveling, and so booted up Pokemon Go here and there, and trying to catch some Pokemon that are in different parts of the country.
See, you need the Star Pocket. See, it's perfect for
I
you.
should. I really should. And then I downloaded the demo for Life is Strange Double Exposure on Xbox. I'm trying to figure out where I want to buy it right now because it came out today for Switch, I think,
Yeah.
and so like I know it's going to be a better visual experience on Xbox or Steam. However, I'm like if I'm on the go a lot, it'd be really nice to be able to play. And I haven't really taken my rogue ally like on the go. Like maybe I should, and I could play Life is Strange on the go. But I just feel like I need to play it on Switch, and so I'm kind of going back and forth, and that's why I haven't actually bought the whole thing yet, because I'm still trying to decide which platform I want to play it on. But I was like, hey, the demo's out, I'll go ahead and play that. I'm hoping
What do you
that
think of the demo?
I haven't actually played it yet. I just downloaded it. So yeah, getting to it because I'm excited to play it. But yeah, I've been held up for traveling and everything too. So that's definitely one I will. I probably won't finish it by our next episode, but the goal would be to finish it before the end of the year. So that'd be fun.
I love the fact that they went out and they reached out and got the same voice actress to come back for Hannah Tell. They got her to come back for Max. So it's the same actress who did Max in Life is Strange 1. That's great.
Nice.
And she obviously she's a little older now, so she brings more to the role, and it's
Totally.
unmistakable Max.
Yeah. Did you not expect them to do that?
Well, I mean, Before the Storm had a different actress for Chloe, except for the final chapter.
Oh.
They didn't. And her father voice actor was also different in Before the Storm, and that voice actor reprised his role in Life is Strange 2. So sometimes they have different voice actors, but it was, since she's such a main character, obviously you play as Max, to have her reprise that role and bring more to it, like it's like going back to Life is Strange 1 in that sense. Like it's
That's
so
cool.
good.
They must have been so close because I didn't realize they'd changed voice actors in the others.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with Ashley Birch did Chloe, and I think Square and Ashley had a feud or something. So she didn't come back for Before the Storm, and then they reconciled, I guess, because the final chapter Before the Storm, which is so different, it's like the prequel of the prequel. She reprises her role for that one specifically. So I guess sometimes people weren't available, but luckily they were able to bring Hannah back, and she knocks it out of the park.
Cool. Yeah, it's a lot to do those. I mean, for those kind of games, that's a big job.
It's mocap too, a lot of it too.
Yeah, it's a real acting job. Like it's not just read some lines or whatever. It's serious acting for these games, which is cool. Yeah, I forgot. I think I knew that Ashley Birch did that, but I totally forgot. So, that's cool. Jesse's in the chat, said hi. Be sure to let us know what you've been playing, Jesse. So I think that's all. Greg didn't throw his games that he's been playing, has he? No.
Okay. No, he did not.
I'm gonna go through those if he had, but so yeah, we've got a ton of headlines, Barry. Like we've got a lot, and some
compared to last week.
Some of them are a little serious. Some of them are kind of off the wall. We included some things just to have some fun, and so we got a big Pokemon segment here at the very beginning, and then we'll get into the rest of them. So, guess go ahead and take it away with the first one.
Sure. So, because Pokemon Scarlet and Violet just became the best-selling Pokemon game of all time in Japan, they're doing something special for this holiday, and I'm sure it also has to do with people, buying Pokemon for their kids for holiday and stuff. But they're bringing Shiny Rayquaza is coming to Scarlet Violet. You could already get Rayquaza with the DLC, but now they're doing the raid, like the 7-star raids that they're always doing. And they're putting Shiny Rayquaza in raids starting Thursday, December 19th at 4 p.m. Pacific until Sunday, January 5th at 3:59 p.m. Pacific. It's going to be the Terra type will only appear. It's going to be 5-star, not 7, but 5-star raids. So make sure to go and get yourself a free Shiny Rayquaza.
Nice. And the Pokemon Company has revealed some new merch specifically for Japan to celebrate Gold and Silver's 25th anniversary. Barry's making me feel old, but they've shown off some really great merch that they're going to be have available starting on November 23rd. There's jackets and plushies and keychains and mugs and a lot more available via the Pokemon Center stores in Japan. Again, starting on November 23rd, as well as online outlets such as Amazon Japan. So if you want some of this amazing silver and gold merch, you're going to have to import it.
And for all you fellow Pokemon Unite players, as you probably already know, Psyduck has joined as a supporter in Pokemon Unite starting November 14th, so earlier this past week. He joined, and Psyduck can be purchased for 12,000 AOS coins through November 21st, or 790 AOS gems in the Unite Battle Committee shop. There's also the Psyduck event going on right now, and you can pay a little bit to get him that way as well, provided you play.
Nice. Shifting a little away from Pokemon, Nintendo has reconfirmed some release schedules for its upcoming movies, like the next Mario movie, but also the live-action Zelda movie as well. And Super Mario Brothers sequel is going to be out in April 2026, and it will be followed by a live-action Legend of Zelda movie in sometime in 2020 something is what they're saying. So it's still coming. They're excited about this and just wanted to reconfirm those dates for us.
And BBC Newsbeat has interviewed Eiji Aonuma, Zelda series producer, of course, as well as the game directors, Mr. Sano and Mr. Terada. And they talking about Echoes of Wisdom. Numa said that he completed Echoes of Wisdom 8 times during the development, and he admitted that he had similar feelings on his first playthrough. From the second time, though, I sort of realized that there's various ways and methods of overcoming these puzzles and overcoming the challenge. He said experimenting with different methods helped him change up his experience. Uh, Terada added that the realization that you could do various things, various ways to overcome these puzzles, is sort of turning point of whether you become used to using the echoes in the new game system. Sano confirmed that Echoes of Wisdom uses a variable frame rate and that the developers felt that this was the best option available. We wanted players to fall upon and see the echoes that they may not have noticed or have been using while they're sorting through all the echoes that they have. He also pointed out that there's an alternative notebook method which enables players to access the echoes they've gathered more quickly.
Nice. Donkey Kong Country is now having your pre-order bonuses. So if you want to order the HD version, you're going to be able to get a Donkey Kong Country barrel in the US, and I believe as well there's a fanny pack, or called a bum bag, in the UK, and also Kong pins. So if you are looking to order Donkey Kong Country Returns HD on your Nintendo Switch, you're going to be able to get those. And it's also important to note that the original Donkey Kong Country, again, something else that's going to make us feel old, is now 30 years old in the UK as of November 18th. Will be 30 in North America on November 21st, and in Europe on the 24th, and Japan on the 26th. So that was a little shocking to me. I didn't realize that it released first in the UK. But 30 years old, and now you can get your pre-ordered bonuses for the HD remake.
So a game we recently reviewed in our game chat, Iron Meat. So definitely check out that game chat video. They get a very big update, was just launched. So they added things like mirror mode, which is unlocked after completing the game for the first time, where you can play through every level of the game with the x-axis flipped. Enemies and bosses function the same, but this time you'll be running to your left. The supercharge mode, which gives you rapid fire, is automatically active if you collect a third copy of an already equipped gun. Bullets fired while in supercharge mode will now appear as red. Sections of all levels have been slightly changed to be more fair to the player. Increase the default damage of the E, U, and M guns. Enhance the background visuals. You can now keep any extra lives you earned if you finish a level with more lives than you started with. The M124 or MI-24 helicopter boss fight has been retooled to be more clear, and more meat has been added to the moon base. So
Nice.
if you haven't played it yet, you have more reason to do so now.
Yeah, And if you guys have been excited like I am about Super Nintendo World, it's coming. It's coming soon to Universal Studios in Florida. But before that, Nintendo had a Super Nintendo World Direct dropping on November 11th and showed off the Donkey Kong Country section that's going to be opening in Universal Studios Japan on December 11th. So not too far from today. They're going to be opening that in the Japan Universal Studios with shops like Funky's Fly and Buy. You can play experiences with the new DK power-up bands or the existing Mario bands. They have banana-themed desserts at Jungle Beach Shakes, photo ops with DK himself, and a minecart themed family-friendly roller coaster that we get to see a little bit of as well. The Donkey Kong Country will also be included in the upcoming Epic Universe part of Universal Studios Florida, which opens on March 22nd of 2025.
And featuring more updates that Nintendo likes to be doing. Nintendo Music, the recently added or the recently released, I should say, music application for phones from Nintendo added 2 brand new games. So Wii Sports Music and F-Zero X Music are now available to listen. So it seems like they're releasing these at a steady clip. So we'll see what's next.
Yeah. And Nintendo wants you to know that your pets need to stay away from your Nintendo Switch. Recently, the corporate account tweeted, "When you take your eyes off of it, your pet turns your Nintendo Switch into a toy. By the time you notice, it's already covered in drool. Pet saliva and urine can cause the device to malfunction due to water exposure. If you have pets, be careful about where you place your Switch." So Nintendo wants you to remember, don't let your pets pee on your Switch.
Yeah, that's also don't drop them from high places. Don't pour water on them, and don't put them in the dishwasher, and don't run them over with your car. All things I suggest, and I'm sure Nintendo suggests you do as well, or don't do. And then finally, something that's kind of an interesting story that kind of came out of nowhere. The Nintendo Switch firmware has an issue, an issue that needs fixing, where it can actually prevent you from playing the games you own. This is an interesting PSA that we want to just add on here. Nintendo, the Switch forces you to do a version update check whenever you boot up a game. If the version you're playing isn't the latest version, it will prompt you for an update, which I'm sure we've all experienced before. However, you can still play the game without updating it. Once you've updated, however, to whatever version number, the Switch, say version 2.0, the Switch will not let you play that game on any version less than 2.0. So this seems like, okay, what's the big deal? The problem is there are some releases that are released physically that are a different version number than there are digitally. And there's no way to match those version numbers. So if a physical version, let's say, has extra stuff and is an extra version number, and you pop it in and play it, you pull it out and decide, oh, you know what, I'm going to sell the physical, I'm going to get the digital version, and you buy the digital version and try to boot it up, it's going to ask you to update to whatever version number that physical cart was, and you can't because it doesn't exist digitally. Therefore, you can no longer play the game that you just bought digitally. And the same vice versa. There are actually some physical games where there's no way to update that physical, and you could get bricked out of physicals as well. So this is an easy fix, but it's something that we wanted to bring attention to, especially this time of year as you're buying Switch games. Pay attention to this and do not get bricked on games, because certain version numbers will screw you over one way or another. It's a
Wow,
terrible system.
that's really, really unfortunate. Yeah, I can't remember if I don't think I've gotten myself in a situation like that, but if I did, I'd be very frustrated.
There are some developers out there now literally putting out patches for like the physical version that does nothing but change the version number up so you can actually play it, and vice versa with digital. Like they're like, all right, we're just going to put out a brand new update to Nintendo that just brings the version number up. But that's up to the individual developer. Not every developer is going to do that, and Nintendo can fix it on their end, but I don't think they care.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so I guess if you're gonna maybe be in a situation like that, check your version numbers and see if it's worth it, or just keep both versions, I guess, until don't throw your physical version away or sell it right away because you may need it. Kind of
And there's
unfortunate.
some physicals have different version numbers. Even Nintendo,
That's true. Yeah.
even Nintendo physical cartridges have different version numbers on it. So luckily with Nintendo, there's always a way to upgrade. But there are some where it's not because it's like a later release and they do, oh, we're going to do something special for the physical and we'll put it out there, and that's version 1.01.
Mm.
And now you pop in that cartridge and play it, and then the system's like, well, in order to load this game, you need to be on 1.01. Oh, you're playing the digital version? We'll update to 1.01. Oh, that doesn't exist? Well, too bad. You can't boot it unless it's 1.01. It's
Wow.
so bad.
Wow. Anything else stand out from all these headlines?
It's great to see some Pokemon love. It's in the Super Nintendo world. Can't wait to see that in action. I think that's really, really great. Happy to see more Nintendo news with the movies that, stuff's actually happening. I think that's great. And interested to see what else they add in Nintendo Music, because there's a lot of stuff there and there's a lot of stuff missing. So hopefully they keep adding.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I've not played around much with Nintendo Music yet, but it's so cool to have that. And we needed that a long time ago. So I'm glad that Nintendo is finally acknowledging that they have some great music and they're now putting it out there for us to listen to. Yeah, I think it was interesting reading through the interview with BBC and the Zelda devs there to mostly talking about how like that long the echoes list and just how like they also acknowledge that it's kind of wonky a little bit, but they're like, that's we did it kind of on purpose for you to find out what you need to know. I'm like, I don't know if I think you're kind of trying to justify this, but also to hear him say that, like, yeah, there was some limitations with variable frame rate, but that's the best they could do and everything too. So I'm kind of reading between the lines there, but it almost seems like Nintendo is chomping at the bit. They can't wait till the next system comes out as well, so they can start pushing some hardware in some cool ways. I think the Iron Meat update sounds cool. It sounds like a couple of the things that we even brought up in our game chat, like even
Yeah.
enhancing the background visuals, because that was something we talked about that it wasn't quite clear sometimes where you could jump and where you couldn't jump, and so things like that. Supercharge mode automatically activates, like things like that are just really cool, kind of taking this game that we already really enjoyed to the next level. So that's really
What
cool.
sucks though is that the physical was already printed and is out there, and now that physical was going to need an update to get to this. So thankfully that update exists, but
Right. And thankfully, at least as of now, I'm assuming you won't have the problem that we talked about earlier of the game not being able to start.
however, if you buy a physical, you pop it in and update it, and then later you decide to flush out and delete the data because you need room on your SD card, the server goes down eventually, the switch goes down, decide to pop in that switch card, your switch memory will still be like, no, you need to update. You can't play that card anymore. So that's just like a future problem, but it is an issue that should be removed.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Hopefully they'll fix it before the Switch servers go down. Especially
People
since
start
they're
messaging Nintendo
planning on using them for the next
iteration.
iteration as well. Yeah. Barry, you ever have your dog's pee on your Switch?
Nope, nope.
Good.
My
Good for
dogs
you.
do absolutely not. I think that's hilarious. And you know that they had to put that PSA out because someone complained.
Yeah.
This happened. That's what caused
Yeah.
this. That's why we have
Yeah.
warning labels for stupid,
That's right.
because it happened to someone.
Yep. I like the little image that they put out. The little
Well, it's not even
dog.
peeing there. It looks like it's trying
He's
to chew
drooling.
on it.
Yeah. Yeah, he's drooling on it. But yeah, don't let your dogs
I
drool.
I have seen people post pictures of dogs getting a hold of their Switch cases, like the games, and tearing it apart, and like the cartridge is all mangled and everything like that. So that I have seen.
I don't have pets, so I guess I don't understand how that could. I mean, I guess it would happen, but that's really funny.
Nervous. It could like one of my dogs is just a nervous girl, and she will grab something. She'll chew on cardboard. She'll chew on anything, and thankfully she doesn't go for my games. But if there was nothing else around and she was nervous, she probably would try something. They're animals. I mean, that's just
It's
it.
true. Yeah, I guess I just don't. I don't know. I wouldn't. I guess I already don't put my Switch in a place where an animal will be able to pee on it. But I guess
No,
if I
neither do
end up having pets, I need to make sure that stays like that. Jesse Glenn in the chat said he's been playing, besides Castlevania Vampire Survivors DLC, a lot of NES and Genesis. Recently played through a lot of the new NES Rugrats homebrew, like the Switch's classic mode, and really suggest Arcade Archives Metamorphic Force, Konami classic beat 'em up, and also played Choplifter and Space Harrier on Master System Power Base Converter. So cool.
Using the power base converter on his
Using it, yep,
Genesis.
that makes sense. And then Kajimi Kassen, I'm probably mispronouncing that. Loving Nintendo music as well, and yeah, just hope we're all doing well, and I think we are. So thanks for joining us. Again, if you are just now tuning in to the live chat, be sure to let us know what you've been playing and all your thoughts on all the game news that we have been talking about, and the stuff we will talk about in just a little bit. And if you have not, tuned in live and you're catching this afterwards, let us know in the comments as well. All right, Barry, we have had some game announcements or game award announcements. Kind of was that just this morning or was that yesterday? It was yesterday,
That
right?
was yesterday. Yeah, yesterday
Yesterday.
morning.
Jeff Keighley gets on bright and early in the morning. Well, at least bright and early where I was. It was probably almost noon where you were. And shares the nominees for the 2024 the Game Awards. And these kind of been, let's just be honest, all over the place the last several years since he's been doing it. How long has it? Is it 10 years now?
10 years. Yeah, 10
10
years.
years that the Game Awards has been going on. So
Well, 10 years since the Game Awards, but before that, it was like the Spike Video
that's
Game
true.
Awards and all the.
Yeah. So in its current iteration, it's been 10 years, and which is crazy just to think about. I mean, time is flying by. But yeah, we've got like all these announcements for nominees, and I think every year we sit through and go, is it going to change this year? Is it actually going to change? They actually going to do what gamers think they are? And
It
Barry, what'd you
changed this
think?
year for the worse. It definitely changed this year. It
It
changed
did.
this year so much that they had to put out a PSA that it changed this year. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
which,
So this year they allowed DLC.
yeah, which means last year's Xenoblade 3, Future Redeemed got completely screwed over just because it was put out as DLC.
hmm Makes me wonder, should we include DLC in ours? Should we follow Jeff's whatever?
I'm
Uh,
of the belief if the game comes out as it's a standalone, but it's only released as DLC, as that's the delivery, then it's fine because digital physical, it's just delivery method. It's like New Super Luigi U was released as DLC. It's a standalone game though. It was
mhm.
even released physically later on. Same with Torna. It was a standalone game released physically, but it was actually part of the DLC, but it's its own game. So in that regards, yes, that's a brand new game. But as opposed to like we were talking about Ode to Castlevania for Vampire Survivors, no, that's not a brand new game. That's an addition. The only exception I feel are MMO expansions because those are
Mm,
brand new games and they do change out the gameplay significantly. But when you're going into an MMO, that's the nature of the beast.
sure.
That's a new game,
Yeah.
new story, new everything.
Right. It's almost to the point, not quite, but it'd be similar to some of the really big updates to games like Fortnite, where it all of a sudden gets this update and it is a completely brand new game that
Yeah,
radically changes it.
when it radically changes it, yeah.
Yeah, that's just within that world. So yeah, were there any other big changes? That's the one I caught.
That's the biggest one, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, we're gonna run through the nominees for this year. If you didn't catch them, we'll run through them pretty quickly and just make sure that you guys know what is going on. You can also find these over at NintendoFuse.com, and you'll find all the nominees there. Of course, over at the Game Awards as well. So we'll run through all these nominees, kind of going back and forth through this list. And then we'll kind of talk about the nominees after we get done with the full list. So, Barry, you want to kick
Sure.
us off with the first
Yeah.
category?
So for best ongoing game, we got Destiny 2, Diablo 4, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, and Helldivers 2.
And for best art direction, we got Astro Bot, Black Myth Waking, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree, Metaphor Refantasio, and Neva.
And for best mobile game, we've got AFK Journey, Balatro, Withering Waves, Zenless Zone Zero, and Pokemon TCG Pocket.
And for best performance, we got Brianna White, Hannah Tell, Humberly Gonzalez, Like Roberts, and Melina Jurgens.
For best score in music, you have Astrobot, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Metaphor Refantasio, Silent Hill 2, and Stellar Blade.
Best adaptation is Arcane, Fallout, Knuckles, Like a Dragon Yakuza, and Tomb Raider: The Legend of Lara Croft.
For best multiplayer, you got Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2, Super Mario Party Jamboree, and Tekken 8.
For best independent game, we got Animal Well, Balatro, Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, Neva, and UFO 50.
For most anticipated game, they put out Death Stranding 2 On the Beach, Ghost of Yotai, Grand Theft Auto 6, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, and Monster Hunter Wilds.
Best RPG has Dragon's Dogma 2, Elder Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. Make sure I counted that correctly. Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, and Metaphor Refantasio.
Content creator went to Case O, Illujon, Techno Gamers, Typical Gamer, Usada Pecora, and NintendoFuse. Oh, well, thank you,
Oh,
Jeff.
wow. Vote for us. Best action adventure game is Astrobot, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, Silent Hill 2, Star Wars Outlaws, and The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom.
For Best Action, it went to Black Myth Wukong, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2, and Stellar Blade.
Best game direction goes to these nominees of Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth Waking, Elder...
Wukong. I don't know why you typed it Waking twice. It's Wukong.
It is. I think that's a typo. Or a autocorrect, probably. We should call it Waking. Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erd Tree. That's Eritrea. Man, these are actually, funny enough, I copied and pasted these directly from the Game Awards Twitter. So either they messed them up or it decided to autocorrect some of them, but not all of them. And anyway, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erd Tree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Metaphor Refantasio.
And for Game of the Year, they have Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Metaphor Refantasio.
Funny that they didn't correct it that time. So
Nope.
I'm going to blame it on their...
Everyone that I read was right. Everyone you read was wrong.
That's
So.
great. Yeah, we also found out that they put out that the top publishers were PlayStation with 16, Square Enix with 12, eventually Nintendo down there were 6 nominations, and the most nominated games were, of course, Astrobot and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. So again, you can find all those on NintendoFuse.com, but also over on thegameawards.com. Maybe they've spelled them correctly on their site. I'm going to have to fix that after we get done recording on our site. Yeah, Barry, what do you think of these nominees? Are you actually excited about anything here?
No, so this is my thought. They've had some good stuff before, and they're not all bad. But this proves to me more and more that the team or the council that nominates doesn't play games or do not play a lot of games. Every one of these games is more mainstream, and it's, I mean, popularity contest. But you know, it's funny if you look at like the Oscars, like so many of the movies that are nominated, I've never heard of. None of the big movies I go to see are ever nominated
Hmm.
or rarely nominated. And it's like, okay, you're nominating not based on popularity, you're nominating on other criteria. This is more nominated on popularity or money. I mean, the fact that Dragon's Dogma 2 is up for best RPG. I'm sorry if you like that game. The game's archaic and it's not very good. Could be fixed with some patches, but that over Daybreak, Ease 10, Thousand Year Door, Brothership, the list goes on of a ton of great RPGs. Dragon Quest 3, like, did are you playing games? Because I really don't think you are. I
Yeah.
really don't think you are. And the fact that everyone knows Jeff Keighley has a hard on for Kojima. He doesn't even try to hide it at this point. I mean, he practically takes his pants off and says, "Do me," from behind, like for Kojima. But his next love is From Software. We've seen this. We know this. Naughty Dog is a third. He loves those guys. They always get favoritism. He rewrote the rules for Elden Ring. He wrote them for From Software. And I'm not saying that the new Elden Ring DLC is bad. Not at all. But to snub one of the other original games,
Yeah.
that content, that spot is pretty telling. And that also went into best RPG. So that snubbed all the other RPGs as well. Um,
Did we
that
see before you move on? Did we have any other? I'm looking through the list. No other game falls into that, right? So they basically just changed it for that game.
just that one. I mean, technically, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth kind of counts as kind of like a DLC if you think about it. It's the second part of a story, but it's its own game.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just that one game.
Yeah.
Every other one is at least its own thing. And unless it's like part of like best ongoing or something like that, which would be fine. Or if there was a DLC category, it would be fine. And that's where a lot of people online are very upset about it. And I hate being negative. I try and be a positive person. I want to be positive. It's and maybe if they made this rule last year and they gave some nod to Future Redeemed, I would be a little bit better. But the fact that they snubbed Future Redeemed last year completely, and now they're doing this for Elden Ring, and I liked Elden Ring. Elden Ring was my game of the year last year for non or 2 years ago for non Nintendo in 2022, whenever it came out. It was with our games of the year. I talked about Elden Ring. I loved it.
Mm,
And I'm not saying it's a bad game at all. Far from it. But
yeah.
there are tons of other deserving games that should be there that aren't DLC,
Yeah.
that are
Yeah.
original, brand new property.
Right. Yeah. At this point, just include it in the best ongoing game. You know, you can do that for those kind of games that keep
Yeah.
going and keep putting out good content. I mean, you got Destiny 2, Diablo 4, Final Fantasy 14, like Fortnite. All these games they continue to pop out good
And
content over. Just
and
put it in that category.
Diablo 4 just put out a brand new expansion or add-on
There you
content
go.
this year. Final Fantasy 14 had Daybreak, oh not Daybreak, Dawn Trail come out this year. And Dawn Trail to me is a brand new game because like I said it's an MMO expansion, but that was still put into ongoing game. And it's like it shouldn't take that spot away from other things. I mean that'd be like talking Ode to Castlevania for Vampire Survivors. Like that'd be up for Game of the Year. Like it's fun. It's great. Castlevania fan, it's extra fun. But that as a full game, no, it's not a full game. It's an
Yeah.
add-on to an existing game.
Yeah.
Period. Everything else, it's like that. When Mario and Rabbids had that DLC, they were original little stories, but they were just add-ons to
Mm-hmm.
the real game.
Yep. Yeah. I'm curious what you think. Like Zeb Zero, like, or who was it? Sorry, I'm gonna get this wrong. Who they're talking to? Who mentioned this? Mo knows. Um, Nintendo gets snubbed. Legend of Zelda, Echoes of Wisdom should have been in the Game of the Year category. What do you think?
So
Because it's
here's
not
my
Breath
take.
of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom.
I love Echoes of Wisdom. Here's my take. Nintendo had a packed year of 11 games out of 12 months. Had 11 games this year, which is a lot. And they were all fun. I played through them all, every one of them this year. The majority of them were remakes, or at least half of them were remakes, which hurts. And the other half that were original were smaller titles, unfortunately. And it's weird to see Zelda only in the like what two categories, family and action adventure.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird to see that. And usually, if you look over the past few years, Nintendo's had a Game of the Year
Mm-hmm.
nomination in every year. Tears
Yep.
of the Kingdom was last year. Xenoblade 3 before that. Metroid Dread was there. So it's weird to see Nintendo not get any nod and Sony get multiple.
Yep.
And we always knew that Jeff also favors Sony. And again, I play my PlayStation 5. I really enjoy that stuff, but I like fairness. And this is all mainstream. In fact, I actually saw people Balatro, which is very popular, but it's an indie game. They always put in indie game and Game of the Year as well.
Yeah.
Stray they did, Takes Two, which actually won one year. I've seen people like, what's this Balatro game? Why is this here? Get this out of here. I know people who are addicted to Balatro. Balatro
Mm-hmm.
is a lot of fun from what I've heard. That's fine, no problem. But that's the quote unquote unknown you
Yeah.
throw in there. One unknown.
It's the token.
What we're
We're gonna throw you a
the
bone, just
token.
make it sure it doesn't look like we're all have the same.
Yeah. And it's like, what the heck?
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
what the heck? The content creators, I've only heard of one of them, which is the bunny, which is the
Right.
hilarious thing. The only one I've heard of.
Yeah.
Um, it's
Yeah.
like, where did you pick these from?
Yeah.
Where could you have possibly picked? You took a list and you looked at what was popular or what was trending, and you said it's trending, therefore it's got to be good. No, that trending does not mean good. And broaden your horizons. I don't like this is what I was talking about when at the start of the show. We're talking about how my favorite years are where we have 9 games in a category because we all picked 3 different games because it shows how diverse the year is. Everybody has different tastes, but it's really really boring when the same games are up for every award.
Yep.
And like eight of the what 15 awards have Astrobot. 8 of the 15 awards have 7 Rebirth. Okay, I'm not
Yeah.
saying neither of those games are good. I enjoyed both of them immensely, but still, that's boring.
Yeah.
That's boring.
Yep. Especially like you said, when there's so many games that came out this year. Um, and I'm interested too. Like of all the games they did throw the token in there, Balatro kind of caught me off guard because I'm sure it's a fantastic game. Like it's not my thing because it's a roguelike, for one. But it's a card game that like I think it's great, but I'm like, really? Like that's the token indie you're gonna throw in there of all the ones out there? And I'm interested to see what you think because you've played through Astrobot. Like I've heard
hmm
really good things about it. I've watched gameplay. It looks fantastic, but I also knew there were several bugs and issues with it
Yeah.
as well. It's like a glorified tech demo, and now it's in the game of the year.
Um, it's not. No. It's not a tech demo. That's Astro's Playroom.
Oh, okay.
Astro's Playroom is the tech demo that comes with all PS5s.
Okay.
So they expanded upon that with Astrobot.
Okay.
Astrobot is a full-fledged game. It's a ton of fun. If you enjoy Mario Galaxy, you need to play Astrobot. Hands down, it is like Mario Galaxy 3. It is a lot of fun. And it's great to see a platformer in there. I do not fault them for putting Astrobot in there. I think
Mm-hmm.
they did a good job with Astrobot. Is it perfect? No. Is it better than Odyssey? No.
Did it
But
deserve
it's
7
fun.
categories?
No. Astrobot's biggest hook, besides the platforming, which is a lot of fun, is nostalgia. It's
Mm.
100% nostalgia. There's bots in every stage. Half of them are just generic bots, the MacGuffins to collect. The other half are bots that are dressed up as characters that have appeared on PlayStation systems,
Hmm.
whether it be Sony owned properties or whether it be other properties that have appeared there. Devil May Cry, Crash Bandicoot, Spyro the Dragon, stuff like that, stuff that Sony doesn't own. Death Stranding, uh, and it's just fun. And then in each of the 5 galaxies, there's the end level is based on a Sony property: Ape Escape, Uncharted, Horizon, God of War, and Patapon or Loco Roco actually. And it's those are cool, but again, it's playing off nostalgia. It's literally just like Smash Brothers in that sense. But Smash Brothers is different because that whole game is nostalgia. This is like throwing in nostalgia, like Zelda. This would be like if you walked into Zelda and you walked into a dungeon, now was a Mario dungeon,
Hmm.
like Mario themed. This is out of place, but it's pulling out the nostalgia, putting out the familiar. Um, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that's what they're banking on.
Yeah.
So the question is, are people who are voting for Astrobot voting for it because they really enjoy Astrobot as a platformer? Or are they voting on it because it brought back fuzzy memories of their childhood and that made them feel good while playing it? So that's what they're voting based on. That's really what you have to ask yourself. And again, not discrediting Astrobot. I loved it. I had a lot of fun. In fact, I played through the last level and the Forgotten World twice because of the stupid bug that did not save my game. Because if you have a power outage, that game is gone. It's bad. But I did play through it because it was worth going through and 100%. I actually got the platinum trophy, which I rarely do. So it just you have to wonder, do these games deserve everything, and how popular are these games? And if you go to Metacritic and take these games, are there games higher than that on Metacritic? Because there most likely are.
Yeah.
And that's like, wait a minute, why didn't those games get it instead? Because the people who are the council who was doing it most likely only played popular games and not looking into the games that don't have millions upon millions of dollars budget, that aren't paying them under the table to nominate their game.
Yeah.
They're not looking like, when was the last time a Spike Chunsoft game was nominated, or an Idea Factory game, or an NIS America game, or a Falcom game? Oh, none.
Yeah.
Why? Well, those are great games. None. Oh, they probably don't even know those companies exist.
Mm.
Has Axis had a game? No, I don't think so. You know, what about PM Studios? If they have a game up there, like there's so many publishers out there that it's impossible to please everybody. But when you always have the same publishers nominated and then highlight the list of how many awards each publisher got, and you look at that list and that list is like all popular publishers,
Yeah.
that says something. I think that was on our thing. Yeah, PlayStation, Square Enix, Xbox, Sega. We can go back to it. The slideshow moved it. Bandai Namco, Nintendo, Konami, PlayStack, Devolver, Ubisoft, EA down at the bottom, Capcom, and Game Science. So Game Science and PlayStack, fine. Those are not really big, but everybody else, even Devolver is a smaller one. I'll
Yeah.
give them Devolver too. But everybody else is a big name, is the kind of name that the average person who doesn't study games or doesn't watch games or media or play games often will have heard of those companies.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I'm wondering, and maybe I didn't do a little more research on this, but I know for like the Academy Awards, I think there is some sort of pay sort of thing to get your movie considered for an Academy Award. And so I'm wondering if there's some sort of thing with the Game Awards as well, that they have to pay or submit certain things or whatever in order to be even considered. Like, it's not just we're going to look at all the video games that are out there that actually come out this year. It's the ones that have submitted to be a part of our awards ceremony. And if that's the case, then it kind of makes sense that all these mainstream ones keep rising at the top, because they're the ones that can either afford to do it or have the capacity to do it or whatever it is. And maybe, the other companies aren't even submitting. Maybe I've not done enough research, so I have no idea. I'm just kind of speculating here.
Oh
But
no, yeah, I think you're right.
yeah, and so maybe that's why some of these other games are fantastic, but they're not. They're kind of getting overlooked just because either they don't submit it, or if they do have to pay, maybe they just don't have the finances to afford to pay to play, basically, in this thing.
So, 2004. I'm looking. What? Why is this changing on me? Now it says 2020. I want 2024. I'm trying to like look at Metacritic and just seeing what the release year is like frozen for me. Like I can't click 2024. When I click it, it like goes down. I don't know if there's something weird with the site. But I'm just trying to like see if I could filter Metacritic by score. I wonder if there's something with Firefox. Let me try in Chrome while you talk.
And the FAQs, though, I'm just pulling that up right now. It said the award process. It says the nominees are selected by a jury, an international jury of 100 global media and influencer outlets, selected for their history of critical video game evaluation. And basically, each voting outlet completes a confidential, unranked ballot based on the collective and diverse opinion of its entire editorial staff, listing out its top 5 choices in each category, and the ballots are tabulated. So it seems like, they're not mentioning that these developers or publishers have to submit their games. It seems like, from what they've put on their website, that it's out there for any video game to be included, and each of these the jurors that are in this group of 100 are basically just listing their top 5, and then they're tabulating them. But I don't know.
So I'm on Metacritic now, so I got it here on all platforms: mobile, PC, Switch, Xbox, and PS5. Just 2024 Metacritic score. So number 1, they list Elden Ring: Shadow of the Erdtree, because Metacritic does do DLC. So just flat out, like it's not game of the year kind of things. Astrobot with a 94, Metaphor with a 94, Final Fantasy 7, Rebirth with a 92, Castlevania, the DS collection, 92, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, 92, Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance, a 92. That was that nominated anywhere? Tekken 8, 91. UFO 50, 91. Dave the Diver, 91. Animal Well, 91. Satisfactory, number 91. Balatro, 90. Destiny 2. The Final Shape, 90. Pentient, 90. The Last of Us, Part 2, 90. Thank Goodness, 90. God of War Ragnarok DLC, 90. Neva, 89. Unicorn Overlord, 89. Kill Knight, 89. Tsukihime, 89. Horizon Forbidden West Complete Edition was an 89. That's a re-release. Persona 3 Reload, 89. Where was that in RPG? All this is above Dragon's Dogma. Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut, 89. Lorelei was 89. Tactical Beach, 88. Prince of Persia, 88. There's Dragon's Dogma 2 at an 88 as well. Shogun, 88. The Paper Mario, 88. That was in your door. So, I mean, you're seeing there's a lot of like the top ones. Hey, Dragon Quest 3 got 86. Marvel vs. Capcom, 86. Cat Quest 3 got an 86. Where was Cat Quest 3? So you have all these games, and like the top ones you're seeing, like, oh yeah, these sound familiar. These are the ones nominated. But there's a ton of 90s and high 80s that aren't even nominated at all, Where's the diversity? Get some of those games on there. And that's not my personal take on things. These are Metacritic scores. These
Yep.
are I'm not part of that. These are what the and those are the critics. So, you can take these scores and say, all right, let's diversify that list.
Yep. Yeah. Just really quick on the FAQs, I scrolled down a little bit. Didn't have to do a whole lot of research. How do I submit a game for consideration? There's no formal submission process, it says. So qualified developers and publishers can contact the Game Awards to receive the list of voting outlets. And is there an entry fee? They strongly believe that no game developer or publisher should have to pay to have a game considered for nomination. Thus, there are no entry forms or fees required. All games are automatically eligible for nomination. There is no submission process.
So there's no fee required, but it doesn't say we do not accept payments. It does
It's
not
true.
say that. So look, your game, Cat Quest 3. Oh yeah, you know what? We'll consider it. Yeah, sure, fine. We'll put it in the list for consideration. Oh, is that $100,000? Cat Quest 3 sounds like a good game of the year. What do you say? Yeah, I think we should do that. 100,000. We'll do that. It doesn't say it doesn't. If it doesn't say they're not accepting money, that means they are. Because if they weren't accepting it, it would specifically state otherwise.
They believe no developer or publisher should have to pay.
That doesn't mean that. Yeah. That's like saying, I'm going to help you do whatever. And so, well, okay, well, how can I pay you back? Oh, you don't have to pay me back, is my way of saying, look, if you don't, it's okay. I'm going to do this with my friend. But
Yeah.
I would really appreciate if you did something back for me. Tit for tat kind of thing. So it's the unspoken words. It's there because if you don't call out something, it's it's like in a TV show. If someone dies but you never see a dead body, are they really dead? You didn't see a dead body. It's the same thing. There's
Want a
no
matching
dead
month?
body there. Yeah, see? There's no dead body there. They literally state you shouldn't have to pay, but it doesn't say that we will not accept payments. And until they do, I will forever believe that certain companies will pay because it's publicity, because apparently people on the internet look at these as justification for the games they play. It doesn't matter. That's the biggest PSA you can take at us. It
Yeah.
doesn't freaking matter. If you love game A, love game A. If they don't recognize it, they're idiots. Enjoy what you enjoy, period. And you know what? It's okay to enjoy something that someone else doesn't like. I didn't like Dragon's Dogma 2 because of archaic things. Clearly, Metacritic has it as an 88. Game Awards think it's one of the best 5 RPGs of the year. I disagree. But if they enjoyed it, more power to them. I'm happy for them. I
Yeah.
did not. I tried.
Yeah. One of the things I didn't put on the list. I forgot, but I was going off of the Game Awards Twitter, is esports, the whole esports category, which I always think is interesting that they include those at all, let alone have 3 or 4 categories dedicated to it. But if you've watched the Game Awards at all, I guarantee you could pick at least 3 of the top 5 nominated esports games because they're the same every year. League of
Yeah.
Legends,
League of Legends.
Dota, Counter-Strike 2. And Mobile Legends, Bang Bang is on there this time, and Valorant. So go figure. And the esports athletes of the year, pretty much all League of Legends and Dota. It's the esport athlete of the year, or the team of the year, League of Legends teams one after another. So if you're into that, that's great. But it's also repetitive.
Those ones are, and you know what the kicker is with the show when you watch the show, and the main reason I watch the show are for the announcements, and I think the
Sure.
majority of people that watch the show are for the announcements. If you watch like shows like that, they'll run through all 3 of those awards in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
They'll be like, all right, and we're gonna give out 3 awards right now for best esports team. Between these ones on screen, it goes to so and so. Congratulations, and for best esport game, they just fly through to get through more announcements, and that's
Totally.
been the biggest criticism of the Game Awards, because make it a game award show and then do an announcement show and make them two separate things. They won't do that. So look forward to more world premieres in December, 17th or whatever it is,
Yeah.
December
Yeah.
12th, whatever.
Yeah. I personally don't care about the esports stuff because number one, it's the same
I
stuff
don't.
every year. And number two, I'm like, I think in my mind, I'm still connecting this to like the Academy Awards, and you don't have like, I don't know, some equivalent kind of thing there, like the best. People do these, movie drafts. You don't have the, best movie draft of the year. Like it's connected to it's a gaming thing that's attached to the movie industry. Yeah, but we don't
No
celebrate
one
that.
cares.
How do you even pick the best esport athlete of the year? They're competing. It's like throwing the NBA players, the NFL players, the MLB all into one category and picking the
Yeah.
best athlete of the year. Like what? They're
Well,
skilled in
so and so
completely
got
different
55
things.
home runs and someone else scored an average of 40 points per basketball game.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, but
Which one's
like,
better? It
which one's
doesn't matter.
better? They're two different things.
Yeah.
And the same with the content creators.
Yeah.
Like, do we
Yeah.
really need that?
Yeah. And what's the best sport of the year? That's essentially what they're saying with the best esport of the year, like
Yeah.
esport game. What's the bet? Did basketball do better than football this year, or is tennis coming in? It's actually pickleball. Pickleball is the sport of the year. So yeah,
It really is.
I'm okay if they just whip through those really quickly. I'd be okay if they just did away with them altogether. But
Yeah, they won't.
yeah,
I bet
you
those
won't do it,
those
Jeff.
teams
You
give
won't
money
do it.
too. Jeff actually said on Twitter, "Is like, what could we do to surprise you?" And I literally commented, like, actually nominate Falcom Games, but you don't have the balls to do it. Um, yeah, yeah, they don't. Not the biggest surprise is that it's a negative that they added DLC,
Yeah.
and they didn't add DLC just for one category. They put it on the freaking Game of the Year too.
Yeah.
And yes, when I read the Metacritic scores, it is the best reviewed Metacritic score of the year. That's Metacritic. You're 100% right, but it's still DLC.
Yep.
Yeah,
Game
there's
Awards
that.
aims to recognize the best creative and technical work each year, according to their website, irrespective of the format of the content's release. Expansion packs, new game seasons, DLCs, remakes, and remasters are all eligible in all categories if the jury deems the new creative and technical work to be worthy of a nomination. Factors such as the newness of the content and its price value should be taken into consideration.
Now, I will say this. I'm pleasantly surprised that Last of Us Part 2 remake did not get any nominations because I
Yeah.
really expected that to be just an excuse for Jeff Keighley to add that in. So
Yeah.
there, I'm going to give you props, Jeff. Last of Us didn't appear
First time
there.
in 10 years.
First time. I want to give you props. But it's really really sad to see, and that's what it boils down to. And doesn't matter what 5 or 6 games are nominated. I don't care because in this sense, because everybody is going to have different picks. So I can say, here's my favorite 6 games of the year, my top 6, and you could say, oh, well, you didn't include this game and this game and this game. A, maybe I didn't like it. B, maybe I didn't play it. There's so many games, it's impossible to play them all. So, and that's a problem with the industry, and that's something that we really need to address. And if the 100 people that are picking these, if they're only playing the mainstream games,
Yeah.
then they're only going to keep nominating the mainstream games because they haven't played the other games. And you know who suffers? The developers. They're already hurting. How many layoffs? Jeff refuses to acknowledge the layoffs, right? How many layoffs that we just talked about it last podcast with Concord's developer?
Yep.
Gone. We talked about it with the Prince of Persia 2 episodes ago. We had a whole main topic about it with Prince of Persia and the restructuring there. The layoffs in the industry are terrible right now, and the people who are suffering are the small guys. I talk with devs all the time, and they're small devs, and they are hurting.
Mm-hmm.
They can use this recognition. There's a ton of great indie games that aren't huge mainstream that came out this year. Scarlet Tower came out this year. Iron Meat we talked about. The Soul Stalker came out. where are the nominations for those games?
Right.
You know, and it's like there's not even any recognition. Those devs are literally looking daily at how many downloads they get and how, to be able to feed themselves. Bandai Namco and From Software and Sony, they're not. They're
Right.
fine. Give some nods to, and yes, they have the best indie category, 100%. But that's one category. One category.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even if you look at it, I'm not discrediting like Animal Well, but Animal Well is Big Mode, which is Donkey. He's a big YouTuber, got a lot of money there, pushing it in. It's like where's everything else? There's
Yep.
so many other great games. Like I mentioned, Cat Quest 3. Where's Cat Quest 3? Not
Yep.
even a nomination, and that was on the Metacritic. That was 88 Metacritic.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't even get a nomination.
Yep.
If you're going by that score, what the heck?
Yep. Just in case you did want to know, the voting jury is listed. At least the companies and organizations that are represented. There's a bunch from the U.S. and you go through this whole list and look and see who's represented. NintendoFuse is not on there. Go figure.
No.
What if they actually did ask us to join?
I would gladly do it, but my game would never get picked
No.
because I would nominate stuff that's actually good, and they would be like, oh well, these other people have never heard of that game because it's not super mainstream,
Right.
and we're not getting paid.
Yeah.
And if Sony suddenly came to me and said, hey, we'll pay you, here's $10,000, nominate, Astrobot, I'd be like, I would. Astrobot was a fun game. I would nominate it if I felt I needed to be there. I don't need the $10,000. You're not going to bribe me. You're not going to pay for me. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, okay, I will admit, if you gave me $10 million, I would do it, and I would put a little asterisk next to it, and I would forefront and say, everybody, look, I nominated this one instead of, even if it's a game I don't like, they paid me $10 million. I really couldn't have turned it down, but I would be upfront about it,
Totally. Yeah.
and I would be like, here's my real game of the year, here's what I really think.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. I think one of the things that one of the shining lights in my opinion of the Game Awards, apart from some of the world premieres and things we get to see and quick little interviews here and there, when Jeff has his little things with Reggie and stuff like that, that's all fun. I do think it's cool they announce like the best accessibility game. I think those
yeah,
things are really cool. And the fact that they have accessibility experts that are a part of that, it's like a separate team that they go to that really know this stuff. And it's been really cool to see a lot of developers trying to push the envelope in that way to make their games more accessible to gamers that don't fall into the quote unquote normal category. So that's really cool.
wait, you didn't. We didn't talk about that in
Did I
the
not have
list,
that
did
on my
you?
list on the list there?
Did you not
Man,
count that?
the Game Awards Twitter
Go,
is letting me down.
go to the site. Was that because we didn't mention that? I was also looking for games for Impact. Did they remove that category?
I didn't see that listed.
That was my favorite category of all
Yeah,
time.
that was a
That
good
always
category.
made me like really tear up. It was like devs got up
Yeah,
on stage. They talked about their their real passion, and it was awesome. It was such a good category. We didn't talk about best VR AR. We didn't mention that. Yeah, Games for
that's true.
Impact is there.
Oh, Games
I
for
see
Impact.
it.
Okay. So there is Games for Impact. So that one is closer the distance. Indica, Neva, Life is Strange Double Exposure, Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2, and Tales of the Kinzera Zayao.
So you're missing
Zeu.
some categories here,
I
Steve.
am. I'm blaming Game Awards Twitter for not putting those on there because I just copied and pasted from them. So that's interesting. And then let's see. Innovation and accessibility was Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Diablo 4, Dragon Age, The Veilguard, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, and Star Wars Outlaws. So that was cool to see. I mean, Star Wars on the list is not a game that typically makes a lot of the Game Awards list, so that's cool. I mean, it's a mainstream property and IP, but it's typically not acknowledged in Game
Not
Awards.
No, it's well, and it's not only that. There was a lot of controversy with Star Wars Outlaws this year. The stupid Star Wars Outlaws has a 75, by the way, Metacritic score 75.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's about the Game Awards. We have, I think, given them adequate attention, but that is not the only Game Awards that are happening in December. In addition to our own Game Awards, we've got the Indie Game Awards that are also happening. This is on December 9th. It's going to be at 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern time. They're going to be streaming on IGN and YouTube. And there's a bunch of nominees for this one as well. Do we want to go through this list as well, Barry, and kind of highlight these nominees?
I mean, we can just go through them really quickly if you want, like
Yeah.
we did last time. Just alternate.
All right. You want to get the first one?
Sure. So for this, the debut game is a Ranger, which Greg loved the Ranger. A Little Guardsman, Little Kitty, Big City, Lattleknot, Mullet Madjack, Wordless. Hey, look, 6 games completely snubbed in the Game Awards.
That's very true. And notable achievement in accessibility, another accessibility category, is Another Crab's Adventure, Elsie, Periphery, Synthetic, Pine Hearts, SteamWorld Heist 2, and Surmount, a mountain climbing adventure.
For music, they go to Core Keeper, Flock, Pacific Drive, The Cub, Thrasher, and Wild Bastards.
For visual design, we've got Bow, Path of the Teal Lotus, Crow County, Harold Halibut,
That's his
Hantai,
country.
The Plucky Squire, and Ultros. Did I say, what
And
did I say? Cow,
you said
crow
county.
country? County?
You said
County,
county. He's
crunchy, crunchy, whatever.
For bite-sized game, Buckshot Roulette, Click Holding, Duck Detective, The Secret Salami, Minami Lane, Please Touch the Artwork too, and Thank Goodness You're Here.
For innovation, we got Crypt Master, Karma Zoo, Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, Audara, Rusty's Retirement, and UFO 50.
For emotional impact, In Stars and Time, Kind Words 2, Neva, Self Loss, Thirsty Suitors, and Until Then.
For gameplay design, we've got Balatro, Grun, Mini Shoot Adventures, Souls. I'm not really sure.
9 Souls.
I think it's Souls. Tiny Glade and Victory Heat Rally.
Community management, Aggro Crab, Black Tabby Games, Local Thunk, Massive Monster, NPC Studio, and Pounce Light.
For narrative, we've got 1000. Is that cross or times?
1000 X Resist, is that what I said?
I was just going to say X. 1000 X Resist, Arco, Caravan Sandwich, Fear the Spotlight, Last Time I Saw You, and Mouthwashing.
For storyteller, they haven't announced yet, so I can't go to that. So I'll skip to women-led games. Guardlets, Key Locker, Love Ghosty, Mexico 1921, A Deep Slumber, Nightmare Cart, and The Crimson Diamonds.
For solo development, we've got Aerial Knights, We Never Veil. Yield. I can't read. That is an interesting font they've chosen there. Aerial Knights, We Never Yield. Animal Well, Children of the Sun, Crypt Custodian, Knuckle Sandwich, and Magical Delicacy.
Industry Impact is also not announced right now. So we'll go to Game of the Year when they've got a bigger list. 1000 X Resist, Animal Well, Arco, Balatro, Crypt Guardian, Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, Mouthwashing, Neva, 9 Souls, and UFO 50.
All right. It does seem like similar they also have some games that keep popping up over and over again. But at least it seems like it's a broader
Much
list in
broader.
general.
I mean, these are all indie games, of course, but it's significantly broader. I mean, you can tell how many games other than Balatro and Lorelei and the Laser Eyes and Animal Well, I think were the only ones actually put out there in the Game Awards. Like everything else was new. Oh, UFO
Hmm.
50 I think was there
Yeah,
too.
UFO
But
50.
like
Yep.
games like Bo that you got to
Yep.
review, were there, which is really cool. What was Little Cat Big City? I know Greg was playing that. Really enjoyed that, like
Hmm.
a ranger. LC, we did a game chat on LC that got a nomination. Um, you
Yep.
know, Lucky Squire, I think, is also in the Game Awards for one thing. The
Hmm.
family, I think, Plucky Squire got in there.
Yep.
So I mean, you have so many indie games too. So it's really great that there's these other outlets doing this. And what's funny is you look at like some of like the people like IGN put for this as well, and it's like, did did you want to bring some of those over?
Yeah. Yeah. The difference between this one, I don't believe they allow any uh voting from the general public for the Indie Game Awards. I think it's solely based on the judges that for who wins in this. But even though the Game Awards allows for voting, it's only 10% of the final vote. 90% goes to the judges, 10% goes to the general public, which, I mean, I'd have to see it all lined out, but I don't really know if that's going to carry much weight in general
No,
anyway. It's just
especially
10%.
not when it's a popularity contest.
Yeah,
Anyway, that's all it is.
totally. I mean, if we allowed to, it would be really great if they allowed for write-in votes, and then they'd see like who we all really want to vote for.
None of those would make a difference, though,
No,
unfortunately.
but at least maybe they'd see it in front of them. Like they can ignore your tweet, but maybe they wouldn't ignore your write-in vote.
Speaking of write-in votes, though, I think that's a good segue into our own Game of the Year because we do our Game of the Year special every December, and our next episode will be our Game of the Year special. And we have multiple categories, as you can see on screen. We have the best indie Switch game, the best third-party Switch game, best Nintendo developed or published Switch game, best game on a non-Nintendo system, the worst game of the year, and the overall game of the year. And we want to know your opinion. So we give three each of these. So if you want to give your top one, top two, or even top three, we have our Discord that you can submit that. I'm sure, Steve, you're also going to make a post on social media platforms multiple times. I'm going to do a personal post as well. So we want to hear your opinion. And what we're going to do when we read ours and talk about ours is we are going to, after we end a category, we're going to read those so everybody else can hear those too, because maybe your favorite game is one none of us have played, and that's okay. And we want to give the attention to those games. So we're here to give attention to all these wonderful games, and we want your input. So
Absolutely.
here you can make a difference. It won't affect the Nintendo Fuse, our internal thing, but however, we will get those out there. And if you want to give even a little reason, say this because of this, we'll read that too. We'll give you the spotlight. We want to hear from you.
Absolutely. Yep. So yeah, let us know. And that'll be December 3rd. So it's our next live episode. So just 2 weeks from today, which is crazy. December's almost here. um,
Yeah,
I, I,
Thanksgiving is next week.
I went away, traveled for a little bit, and all of a sudden I came back and Christmas had just overtaken the Walmart when I walked in. I was like, opening the doors and I was like, oh, hey, it's Christmas. Uh, but which is also a good segue into our next segment, and our last main topic for this episode is Nintendo's got a lot of games that they're showing off for Black Friday and all the holiday stuff, which we wanted to highlight some of those games, and then also just talk about some of our holiday picks and things like that before we wrap up this episode. So some of the Black Friday deals we got going on this year is The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom is going to be on sale for $49.99. Super Mario Maker 2, Animal Crossing New Horizons, Pikmin 4, and the physical edition of Switch Sports, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, all on sale for $39.99. Super Mario Odyssey and Pikmin 1 and 2 on sale for $29.99. There's also a $20 off the suggested retail price of the neon red and blue Joy-Con controllers, and $10 off the suggested retail price of the Switch carrying case, and a screen protector for The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. Also, the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe bundle, of course, is back again for $2.99. But also, we've mentioned this before, the OLED version is also going to be out there for $349.99. So both of those is savings of about $80 on both of those. And then the Switch Lite Hyrule Edition with bonus Switch Online plus expansion pack membership is going to be on sale for $209.99, which is a savings of about $40 as well. Barry, what stands out to you from these Black Friday deals?
I mean, you can't go wrong with any of the Nintendo stuff. Tears of the Kingdom. It's funny. I remember when people were up in arms because it was a 70-hour game, and if you wait a year and a half, you can get it for 50. I mean, if you really think $20 is worth losing a year and a half of playtime, I don't. But I think at this point, if you don't already have a Switch, getting any of these games is good. My recommendation is also to get pre-owned physical of older games. Nintendo games just hold value. So you could probably find some older pre-owned stuff. You're not going to find it digitally. They're still going to be $60. I think Breath of the Wild's still $60 on digitally. So you might as well just buy pre-owned, get some great games, save some money. And if you're just buying the Switch now, if you've already had the Switch, and you don't have any of those titles, I say get them. Get them now. Nintendo games rarely go on sale. Period.
That's true. And Nintendo website also highlights that they're going to be having some different holiday events at November 16th and 17th. So has already passed at participating Target locations. They had a Super Mario Party Jamboree event. There's also going to be a Best Buy Family Fun Day on December 7th with opportunities to play Mario and Luigi Brothership, Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and Just Dance 2025, as if anyone has not had the chance to play Mario Party 8 Deluxe at this point. And then also on December 14th, select GameStop locations will be hosting demos of Mario and Luigi Brothership, Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe again, and Just Dance 2025.
I'm guessing it's the same cart that they give Best Buy, they give to GameStop.
I think so as well. Yeah. And then there's a lot of digital deals that are going on, and we can't have the time to read through all these, but just make sure you check out Nintendo's website to check out all the different digital games that are going to be on sale, or that actually are on sale now on the eShop. So games like Mario Maker 2 and Grand Theft Auto, the trilogy, and Just Dance 2025 and Ultimate Edition, and Sonic and Shadow Generations, Yoshi's Crafted World, Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope. I mean, some of these games are like really, really cheap, like Sparks of Hope for $20. Like some of these are amazing deals. So if you're okay with getting digital editions of some of these games, you may want to check them out. Even games like Disney Epic Mickey Rebrushed that just came out is already on sale for $42 instead of $60. So Xenoblade Chronicles is on sale for $42 instead of $60. So
Such a steal.
yeah.
See,
So
Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is $60 normally. That was a 2017 game. Nintendo games just don't go on sale normally.
Yep. So yeah, anything as you look over the list of digital games, Barry, anything that really stands out to you that people should go after?
I mean, you're showing Nintendo stuff, so all of it. I
Yeah.
mean, it's all good games. Dragon Quest 11 right there for $35 is such a steal. Oh my god! Of course, Xenoblade. All the Xenoblade games are a steal at that price. Bravely Default 2 is on sale. $42. That's such a good game. Uh, Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter $45 for both Stories 1 and 2. That Stories is great games. Uh, Astro Chain for $42. Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE Encore is a game that Nintendo seems to have forgotten about. $42. Quite a great RPG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Lego
yeah,
Star Wars The Skywalker Saga Deluxe is $18 or
there you go.
$17.50.
Persona 5 Royal, $15.
$15 for Persona 5 Royal is
$15.
a 100+ hour game. That is a fantastic for $15. You can't go wrong. That is such a good Persona game,
Yeah.
hands down. That is amazing.
So yeah, if you're interested in digital games, definitely take advantage of what the
Banana
Nintendo sales right
Rumble is
now.
$25.
Yeah.
Like that's such a good monkey ball game. That
Yeah.
came out this year. That was snubbed.
I'm not
Oh, wait,
even
no,
a
yeah,
Civilization fan, but Civilization 6 being $3 is ridiculous. It's 90% off.
wow.
Yeah. So there's some great deals over there. Alan Wake, $750. Like again, like there's some fantastic deals that are going on there. $18 for the Wonderful 101 remastered. So yeah,
$5 for Scott Pilgrim.
yeah, yeah. Make sure you head over there to Nintendo's website for sure and check out, or just boot up your eShop on the on your Nintendo Switch and check out these
$25 for
deals.
Bait and Kados 1 and 2. Oh my God, what a deal!
Yeah,
$25.
yeah. Unicorn Overlords for 36. Instead of 60, 40% off, and the Monarch edition is on sale for 42 instead of $70 as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, some great deals over there as well. One other thing before we get into some recommendations for the holiday season, I thought it was interesting. I don't believe this has been released in the United States yet, but if you are in the UK, and I believe Europe in general, they're doing a buy one get one free for the 12-month individual NSO membership. So if you buy it by December 1st, you'll receive a bonus 12-month code to give to a friend. So
See, they
get your
need to do
BOGO.
that for the family plan. They never do things like that for family plans.
Yep. Yep. So, and did you know, like I can't remember what game I got, but it came with a like 3-month free code. You can't redeem those if you're already a member. That is
Mario Party
annoying.
Jamboree came with a 3 month, and you can't do anything with your family. Yep,
Yeah.
same. It sucks.
So annoying. Yeah. I'm like,
It's
can I just like extend my existing membership? But nope. Nope. So yeah, maybe we'll give it away to someone that doesn't have an NSO membership at some point. Yeah, because I can't use it. So,
it sucks. I don't. That's like they hate people who have the family plan, and
yeah.
it's like the family plan. It's the way to go if you have at least 2 people in your household. It's cheaper than 2 individual, and then you could have up to 4.
Yep. Kind of dumb. But anyway, Barry, as we think about the holiday season, lots of deals going on out there. We've talked about like games and stuff that's going on sale and things that people should look into it. Let's say there's like some for themselves or other gamers in their life. They want to get some things for them. Anything else stand out? You're like, yeah, make sure you think about this to get for yourself or other gamers in your life.
I mean, make sure you have a good controller or 2, so you can swap off depending on how you charge the battery. Make sure you have a good screen protector and case if you have given it to a smaller kid, or if you'll be traveling this holiday. Make sure you have a case or something so you bring your games with you, your system with you. Uh, Other than that, I mean, a good SD card.
Mhm.
Definitely want a good
Yeah,
SD card,
yeah.
physical or digital. It's always helpful to have.
And those go
And
on sale, like seriously
all
go
the
on
time.
sale, usually on Amazon or other places. Like you can get some great deals on SD cards around the holidays. So,
And yeah, other than that, I mean, just get some good games. Look whatever you enjoy. I mean, I could tell you what games I like, but you might have a different tastes. So if a game looks interesting to you, if there's a demo, try the demo, especially if it has a the carryover, which I always love. Read reviews, just get what you like. And if you're getting a gift for somebody and you don't know what they like, and you could do an Amazon gift card or an eShop gift card or whatever.
Yep. Yeah,
Always plan.
definitely. Well, that brings us to the end of our main discussion. Before we head into what games are going to be coming out over the next couple of weeks, just another reminder to subscribe on your favorite podcast app or right here on YouTube or on Twitch if you're watching us over on Twitch as well. And be sure to share this with other gamers, and definitely be sure to tune in when we go live for our December 3rd episode where we'll talk about our games of the year. And like Barry said earlier, be sure to let us know what your games of the year in those categories as well. We'll open up a special thread in our Discord where you can kind of submit those and have some fun over there too.
And make social media posts as well, just to get some other polls in. And do us a favor, if you see our social media posts, share it with your friends who are like-minded. Let their take it in there. We want to hear from you. You want to nominate as many games as possible, just to talk about it, because there's so many titles out there, and it's impossible for any of us to play them all.
Yeah. So yeah, let's not do what we've just criticized for a while. If you've heard of some awesome game and you've played it and you think no one else has heard about it, let us know, because the chances are we may not have heard of it as well, because as we've talked about, there are so many games and there's absolutely no way for us to hear about everything that's out there.
And I love when people get to watch live, and we show trailers and stuff while we talk about the games. It's not just us talking about them. And people comment to say, "I've never heard of this game," or "This game looks good," and they go pick it up and on our recommendation, which is awesome, because then you hopefully find your next favorite game. And we love to hear it too. If it's a game we've never heard of, and 8 people say this game, and be like, "Wait a minute, 8 people are saying this game to us. Maybe we should check this out."
Yeah. Yep. Well, let's move into what we're going to be playing over the next couple of weeks. We're going to, as always, scroll some games on the screen, compliments of Metacritic's list of what's going to be coming out over the next couple of weeks. Some games we want to highlight. November 26th, we're getting the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge Ultimate Edition. And then on November 28th is a big day. We're getting Sengoku plus Koihime, I think it is, EX Collection, Steam Prison, Beyond the Steam, Platform 8, Riviera, The Promised Land Remaster, Monster Truck Arena, Battle Royale. And then on December 3rd, the day of our next episode, we're getting Anton Blast is finally coming out. And then a couple days after, I know some people are big fans of this, including Barry's wife, Fitness Boxing 3 is coming out on December 5th. So, make sure you get some good working out in there before all the holiday sweets and pounds are probably going to come your way. But any of those or other games you're hoping to play over the next couple of weeks, Barry?
Yeah, over the next couple of weeks, finally, there's a little bit of a break of titles. The next one and the final one for the year, I believe, is Fantasian, which is December 5th, from Square Enix for me. There's also the Sonic and Shadow DLC coming in December for the movie. But no, I'm gonna finish Dragon Quest 3, and then from there, I haven't totally figured out if I'm going to jump right into another RPG with like Romancing Saga 2 or Dragon Age, or if I'll play maybe some Dragon Ball, Sparking Zero first, or Lego Horizon Adventure to break it up. But those are the main ones I've got on the docket, or the backlog, or the on deck, if you will, that I'm going to be playing or plan to play. On top of games we're doing for game chats, and games I'm talking or testing for physical consideration and stuff like that.
Nice. Oh, I'm going right after Santa's Chimney Quest. I think that's going to be a
Oh,
good
you
one.
gotta.
Yeah, and then I'm going to go Santa's Christmas Adventure right after that. No, I'm hoping to get in some good playtime with with the Life is Strange, in addition to the rest of our the games we're gonna be playing for game chats. I gotta get caught up on some of those. But yeah, Life is Strange is probably the one that I really want to get to over the next couple weeks, and I need to get back and finish Echoes of Wisdom. And hopefully, I don't know if all this is going to happen, but I do want to get a little further in Prince of Persia so I can actually play the DLC instead of being stuck where I am. But yeah, same with all of you guys. If you what are you hoping to play over the next couple weeks? Let us know in the chat, but also in the comments after the fact as well. But yeah, that brings us to the end of this episode. Barry, anything else going on big in your life? You got your dental stuff, I know, but anything else going on?
Yeah, looking forward to getting these stitches out, and I have another implant going in, so looking forward to that. Heck, even this episode, just talking, I was like, I don't know if it's noticeable, but I'm like fighting the stitches because the stitches are so like, the coming out, and I'm like fighting, like get back in there, But no, I got family. Thanksgiving is next week. Spending time with family, which I'm looking forward to. I'm gonna be on a couple more podcasts. I know I was just on Game Deflators. I got Classic Gaming Brothers. I'm recording tomorrow, and then I'm also gonna be on games my mom found. Is doing a game of the year, so I'm also gonna be on that one. So it's gonna be interesting being on multiple different game of the years and seeing how they work. But yeah, it's crazy. Just trying to finish some game time and try and do some work around the house, which I always say that, and it's like I kind of wish I did more when I didn't have a child because now it's that much harder to do anything because he's at that age now where he just wants to. He's learning bartering, and he learns that he loves bottles out of the recycling. So he takes toys and climbs, crawls over to the recycling bin and deposits in the recycling bin to take a bottle. So it's adorable, but now we've got to like double check every time we empty recycling bins. And now our living room is filled with empty bottles that he's raided the, the recycling bin with. And he's trying to go for the garbage. And we're like, no, 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 it's not a toy bin. But it's awesome. It's just a wonderful experience to have that, and
Yeah,
it's definitely takes up a lot of my time.
I'm sure. Yeah, and yeah, as he's getting older, I'm sure the holiday season is gonna be really fun with him.
Yeah, as opposed to last year where he was like a potato.
Yeah,
So this year it would definitely be more fun
yeah.
as he's learning words and he's learning you know different traditions and different events and family and seeing people and like, oh, I have no idea what's going on, but I'm getting food. I like it.
hmm Yeah.
You're shoving turkey in my mouth. Okay, I guess this is a good thing.
Do you have secret hopes and desires for his first word to be something cool like Mario
Oh,
or
he's already
Nintendo?
said words.
Oh, okay.
No,
What
his
was it?
first word was dada,
Okay.
dada, dada.
I guess that I'll
But
accept that. Mario could have been
but
a good second, but
but he doesn't say dada anymore. Now he's more mama. He's
uh,
switched to mama. He says a lot of mama. He says a lot of ball. He says a lot of go. And then he says gold, and he's like using those words, go to gold and ball to bottle.
hmm,
So like he says those a lot of times, and then of course he just blah 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 blah. Like
yeah.
baby talk. He still does a lot of that. My wife wanted him to say brains as his first word, so he walk around like stumble brains, but that did not happen.
That'd be a good one too. Yeah.
So I mean it's you never know. Yeah. Now it's just building upon building, and soon we'll be having this time next year I'll be like, yeah, I had a full conversation with him. We
Yeah.
talked, and
It'd be
here's his
crazy.
favorite game.
It's true. Like I said, not gonna be long before he takes over.
Yeah, soon he'll be like, Dad, let me show you how it's done.
That's right. You don't know what you're talking about. Let me show you how to get through Xenoblade 7. I came
Look
really
forward.
close, by the way, to booting up X this week.
Did
Like
you?
I did. I got home like from all my traveling, and I was like, I looked at the Wii U, and I go, do I finally boot this up again? And I ended up playing Rocket League instead.
You didn't even say you played any Rocket League.
I did. I just rushed through it because I didn't play a whole lot, but Yeah, I only played it, I think, maybe 1-2 days,
No,
where
that's.
typically it's like a every other day sort of thing. But yeah, I think it was like 1 or 2 days this couple weeks.
I think it's been so long since you played Xenoblade Chronicles X. We should have a New Year's resolution, and you should get the Switch version, and we should play through, because I'll be playing through it too. We could play through it and do a game chat and do that. New Year's resolution. There you go.
We could. Someone want to buy it for me? Anybody? Any takers? Chat? Anybody?
Maybe Nintendo will send you a code.
Maybe they'll surprise me and actually send us codes again and act like we exist. We'll see. I mean, they replied to my emails. They just keep saying no. So at least they do acknowledge we exist, but it's just not in a positive light all the time. But
Wah, wah.
yeah.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Thank you guys for sticking with us and acting like we exist. No, seriously, in light of Thanksgiving, we are very thankful for you guys. Like we've said multiple times, we would do this just for the sake of us getting together and talking video games, but it's really cool to have our community out there, and you guys jumping in the chat. It's been really cool to see what you guys think about all the news stuff that we're talking about, and lots of positive comments, which we're very grateful for, of our chat tonight around the Game Awards and all that sort of thing. It's always fun to chat about that and to see what you guys are thinking as well. So yeah, thank you guys for hanging with us. As we said back on our episode 300, some of you guys have been here from the whole thing, which is just crazy. So thanks for being here. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for sharing this with others. And we're really excited about this next episode. Hope you guys are too, as we dive into 2024. Actually, I think we forgot to mention this earlier, but it's from December of 2023 through the end of November 2024 is what we're shooting for. So if there's some games from December of last year that were excellent, we're going to include those as well. So make sure, if you're creating your own list, make sure you don't forget about the good games from December 2023 as well.
And we do that because December usually gets hosed, because it either comes out after our award show or it comes out 2 days prior to, and we don't get as much time to play as we want to. That's never happened before, not speaking from experience.
Never.
But so that's why we do
Xenoblade.
December to November, to make sure that it's fair for everybody. So December 2023 until November, the end of November 2024 is for our Game Awards. So we want to hear from you. Make sure to submit. Think about it. Top 3 if you want, or just number 1 in those categories. I think that'll be absolutely fun, and we'll see what happens.
Yep, absolutely. Well, we'll be live on December 3rd, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time, streaming on YouTube and Twitch. Hope to see you there. Hope to see your picks. And until then, happy gaming, everybody.
Have a good one.